Welcome back to the channel, fellow summoners. Mystics here from Prestige Worldwide and ISO 8 Family of Alliances. We're excited you're here. We're finishing our series on Marvel's Contest of Champions training. If you haven't already checked out the channel to watch the other video that's in there for combos and specials, please make sure you do. We've got some great stuff in there. But today, we're going to deal with one of the most important parts of endgame playing. That's right, when Kabam decides to get fun and interactive, they like to do a little thing called stun immune. That's right, they take away our parry ability. They figured the only way to make it harder for us is to break the game mechanics. So we have to be able to break their game mechanics right back. That's right, today it's all about intercepting. Roll that intro. Okay, it's time for some Intercept 101 basics. And the first thing is, what is Intercept? Well, it's when you interrupt the enemy's attack animation in the middle of their attack, or just as they're ending it. This gives you openings to be able to do your own combos without having to parry. This is super important when you're fighting enemies that are either stun immune or frequently shrug off debuffs, as we frequently see in either AQ or AW. Since we're going to try to make you the best that you can be, there's two things you need to understand and pay close attention to while you're learning these intercepting techniques. The first is that the enemy can hit a special while you're attempting to intercept. So if they either have an L1 or an L2 available to be ready, you need to be watching that power meter. And as we know, if you get hit with a special in most game modes, you're probably dead. The next thing you really have to pay attention to is baiting. Now, this isn't the video for this necessarily, but you're going to see a lot of baiting and evading because we need to create those openings to be able to intercept. If you're not sure how to properly do that, we're going to get another video out so that you can learn exactly how to evade and keep getting better. But for now, let's get into the different types of intercepts that you're going to be able to use. Okay, so the first intercept attack is the come at me, bro. This is probably the most common, and you're going to be able to see it a couple of times in the video above. I've kind of sped it up and slowed it down so you can see it in some different animations. Essentially, the way this is that you and your opponent are standing within dashing distance of each other. The opponent's going to attempt to do a medium attack, and you can answer back with a light attack or a medium attack of your own and actually interrupt the attack animation. You'll see right above as it freezes, that's the exact timing you're looking to be able to do your attack. It's as soon as your opponent begins their dashing attack, that's going to give you your opening. Go ahead and watch it in real time. Next up, it's the My Turn Now. This is actually fairly straightforward. You're just going to be intercepting as soon as a special attack animation ends. Now, of course, we need to pay attention to the fact that there are different characters that have different specials. Some of them are faster or slower, and some of them knock you back further. That means that for some types of special attacks, you're either going to get intercepted or they're going to be able to block or parry you when you attempt to intercept them. So you need to learn the types of special attacks you're facing. A good rule of thumb is if you've evaded, as soon as that animation ends, right here, you see where I froze it, that's when you want to attack. Alright, the last one I'm going to show you before we put it all together is the heavy bait. This is where we actually want to bait out the heavy that an enemy AI is going to use by holding down block. Now make sure you're not taking unnecessary blocking damage while doing this, but what you want to do is wait until they're holding back their heavy, immediately evade, and as soon as their animation is done, you want to go ahead and dash in with your medium attack to intercept. When you're looking at the animation, some have double attacks within their heavies, so make sure you're watching out for that. Be careful that you don't get tagged. Alright, so now let's put it all together. And what better place than AQ Stun Immune Path? That's right, we're going to take on AV today in the Stun Immune Path. Now, I do have my Scarlet Witch up with me. Bear in mind that I am going to be trying to show you guys some of these intercepting techniques, so I am taking a little bit more blocking damage than you typically would want to take during an AQ fight. Make sure that you're being very defensive when you're making these plays, and you're baiting out those heavies. Now, you see I started the attack off there with that heavy bait, and you're going to see it again. Now, AV loves to use his heavy attack, and it's a very easy one to intercept because he's got that really long animation to it. Now, one of the issues that you're going to have with his attacks for his specials is that intercept directly after the L1, you notice I have to take blocking damage to take that. But the intercept after the L2, that's actually the problem I was talking about earlier, where what's going to end up happening right there, if I tried to intercept at that moment, he's actually got enough recovery time that he can actually hit me. Now, sometimes you're going to get away with it, but you're just better off playing a bit more defensively and not accidentally getting hit. Now, he pushed me past my special, of course, here, so I got to go ahead and bust out my L3 so that way I can get back to using my bread and butter attacks with S-Dub, because if you played her at all, you know her L3 is pretty much trash. But we're just going to continue on that heavy bait train right here. Now, one of my favorite types of intercepts, the come at me bro, is kind of hard to use against AV because he's so fast, he doesn't usually sit still long enough to allow you to be able to set that up. And of course, look at this amazing regen, ladies and gentlemen, 2 ticks at once. Woo! I love it. Okay, so you've seen the normal intercept attacks that we're going to use, but now let me show you the fake out. Now this is kind of fun. You're actually going to be able to do 4 attacks, and then you're going to evade back. Right there's when you're going to do it, and then you're going to be able to rush back in and immediately intercept the enemy. Now, one of the reasons you're not going to want to use this typically is that you can easily get caught by the enemy either using a special or deciding that they really just don't want to do this, and they're either going to block or back up themselves, and you could get intercepted or attacked. So when you're wanting to do this one correctly, you need to make sure that you're being very careful to back up and watch to make sure that they took the bait and they're actually taking that fake out and dashing it against you. So there it was in slow motion. You just saw it again. We're going to run it a few more times. Watch specifically for that animation after the 4th attack. That's when we're going to go ahead and swing and then go ahead and immediately evade back and immediately dash back in. Go ahead and check it out. Okay, so now you've learned how to intercept like a boss. You're going to take this into your AQ and AW, and you're going to impress your alliance, impress your friends, show them how awesome you are, make it look like you're an intercepting god, and you're kicking this game's rear. It's going to be amazing. A couple of quick shout-outs I want to go ahead and give out. Big thanks to Baprice for my entry there. You saw my little logo in the beginning with my name on it. Hey, by the way, DM, Secret Squirrel is not done. Don't worry. Also, Stealthy Wolf, he went ahead and put that logo you're going to see here at the ending. Do appreciate that tremendously. Make sure if you guys like the video, click like, click subscribe, put a comment in there. Let me know what helped you. Let me know if I can help you further. What more videos do you want from me? And hey, if you just got something you want to say, go ahead and shout it out. I love to chat with you guys. And as always, just remember, don't get hit.